So we just watched a video from Despicable Me that told us what a vector is. So let's write down a definition for what a vector is. What is a vector? A mathematical quantity. I do not like how Google Meet slows me down with my writing. A mathematical quantity represented by an arrow that has both magnitude and direction. Yeah, north, south, east, west. Haha, I don't know. Moving on. Okay, so we're going to learn about the component form of a vector. V is represented by a directed line segment, or sometimes we call that a ray, which means it's a segment with an arrow at one end, with an initial point at x0, y0, and a terminal point at x1, y1. The component form of V can be found with the following formula: x1 minus x0, comma, y1 minus y0. Now here is our notation for a component form for a vector. We, instead of using parentheses like we would with a point, a coordinate point on a graph, we're using these little like triangular bracket things that almost look like a less than and greater than sign. And this will tell us how far to move from one point to another and in what direction. Okay, so let's go ahead and do example 1. By using this formula, we will find the component form of a vector that starts at an initial point of 2, 3 and a terminal point of 6, 4. So to follow our formula, we're going to be taking, I can't draw my arrows obviously very well. Let me do better. That looks better. Okay, I'm going to take my x value for the terminal point, because that's what this is, and I'm going to subtract my x value for my initial point, because that's what that is, so 6 minus 2, and then my y value terminal point is 4, and I'm going to subtract my y value initial point, which is 3, and that gives us a component form for our vector of 4, 1. And what that literally means is no matter where we start, our vector is going to go like 4 units to the right and 1 unit up, and we can create a segment from this point to that point. I should have chosen the one that had the arrow on it. Oh, that arrow isn't very big. That's okay. I can adjust the size of my arrow. Yeah, I could. It's fine. Anyway, you get the idea. So, and I'm just messing this up further. So, yay. There is a picture of our vector. Notice how when I sketched the vector, I didn't worry at all about the point 2, 3 or the point 6, 4, even though that was what it told me was the initial point and the terminal point. We just used those to help us find the component form. It really doesn't matter where a vector starts and ends. It just matters what direction it's going and how far. And so we can use an initial and terminal point to help us figure that information out, like we just did with this formula, to find the component form of our vector. Does anyone have any questions on that so far?